The last people left the Great Blasket Island in 1953. Many of them moved to the mainland, like people for centuries moved across the North Atlantic to seek out a new existence in North America. In doing so, they continued a tradition of Atlantic connections, which we are pursuing in the North Atlantic Fisheries History Project. The seas around the Great Blasket, and indeed the seas of Western Europe, fished intensively by local people and by Spanish, French fishermen who also saw the opportunities across the North Atlantic. Why did people leave Europe to go in search for the cod of Newfoundland?
They had to sail for a month to reach Newfoundland and about the same time to come back to Europe. Yeah, it was dangerous. It is about a little bit less than 10% average. Average means that it can be a very big average like the shipwreck, or it can be a little thing broken or sailor drawn. There was a profit margin, 25% of interest rate over a fishing campaign. This is quite a good result.
We need to piece together the history of the North Atlantic fisheries as a story of tiny communities living on the edge of existence, contributing to a much bigger history of feeding the European food market, a history of overcoming the challenges of the Little Ice Age, a history of how do you deal with the forces of globalization.
The work of the historian is to interpret these kinds of bits of information, put them together, and then send this raw data, such as it is, to someone like me. The data itself needs to be interpreted, needs to be written about, so that ordinary people can pick it up and read what each entry of data really means. They can then use this data for their own purposes. Very importantly, it is academically viable information and needs to be properly cited. So there are academic standards that apply, and the data itself has real value.
We need to build a huge database, and we need to share that data with you all. This is what we provide as open source data, so that we not only can build our story, but you can tap into it and research your own.